Welcome to another edition of Rust Rants, where I come on and go off about, well, whatever's honking me off today. So, ever since we started this Rust Rants podcast, it seems like it's just been a never-ending tirade about all the stupid woke stuff going on in the NBA, in the NFL, in Major League Baseball, and I'm not the only one who's fed up with all of this idiocy. You know, you've got a whole lot of channels on YouTube, for example, Sports Wars, Black and White Sports. They're making their living over bashing these leagues. Then you go on a bunch of social media sites and you see all the comments from all these fans who just say, I'm done with these leagues. I'm sick of the kneeling for the anthem. I'm sick of the pandering to the woke mob. I'm sick of coaches like Greg Popovich stomping his feet and yelling that white men ages 50 to 70 are responsible for all these school shootings instead of just laying the blame at the feet of the evil pieces of slime who commit all these mass murders of innocent people. And a lot of folks have just turned their backs on the major sports leagues. But they're still sports fans. We're still sports fans. And we as sports fans need our sports fix. But how do we get it if we don't want to support organizations like the NFL, MLB, the NBA? Well, I have an answer to that. You can consider this, say, a public service announcement episode of Rust Rants. Well, the easiest thing, if you don't want to support these major leagues, but you still want to watch, you still want to follow sports, well, you've got YouTube. And you can go to YouTube and you can watch old football and baseball and basketball games from the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, complete games with some of the greatest announcers around. Heck, the other week I was watching a Red Sox-Tigers game from 1988. Best of all, it was NBC Game of the Week with one of the greatest sport announcing duos around, Joe Garagiola and the man who sits atop the Olympus of play-by-play men, Vin Scully. So that was a fun thing to do. But you know what? You also want to maybe watch sports, say, here in the present day. So what are you going to do? Well, if you're a baseball fan, you've got independent minor leagues all around the country. For example, you have the Pioneer League, or there's the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball, and they've got some really cool team names there, like the Charleston Dirty Birds or the Missoula Paddleheads, which is a team I actually feature in one of my books called You're Called the What? Weird, Funny, and Dumb Team Names. Also, there are summer collegiate baseball leagues, and this is where you have college players from around the country. They get together and they put in some extra time on the diamond. And probably the most famous of these summer collegiate leagues is the Cape Cod League in the New England area. You also have places like the Northwoods League, the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, and they've got teams there like, say, the Sandusky Ice Haulers or the Royal Oak Leprechauns. More good team names. Sandusky Ice Haulers. I must have missed that when I was putting together my book, You're Called the What? Weird, Funny, and Dumb Team Names. Also, most of these games, they're streamed online, so you can watch them or listen to them there. And if you're a football fan, well, the USFL is up and running. I think they're still having trouble getting a lot of people to watch their games, so you can go to those games. Or there are quite a few indoor football leagues you have around the country, including, well, the Indoor Football League. In fact, right here where we're broadcasting from, Prescott, Arizona, we have our own local indoor football league, the Northern Arizona Wranglers. I'll tell you what, I was at one of their games last week covering it. They played one of the legendary franchises in arena football, the Arizona Rattlers. It was an exciting game. It was a packed house. There was just great energy and electricity throughout. Best of all, the players out there during the national anthem, they didn't kneel. The team respected the country. They even saluted veterans and law enforcement there. Just a great atmosphere, and I'm sure a lot of these other indoor football teams have that kind of atmosphere. Heck, at the end of the arena game I was at between the Wranglers and the Rattlers, they actually let fans onto the field where they can get their pictures taken with Wrangler players and get their autographs. You ain't going to see that in the NFL. Also, another great alternative would be the Canadian Football League, the CFL, and I've watched some of their games. I've watched some of their Grey Cup games, and that is some pretty fun football to watch. You got to get used to the 3 downs instead of 4 down format that the CFL has, but still, another great alternative when it comes to getting your sports fix. You also have colleges. Now, I know some of the NCAA Division I schools and teams, they've gone the woke route. One of the first Rust Rants we did was about the South Carolina women's basketball team staying in the locker room during the national anthem, during the NCAA tournament. Just the other day, we had a story come out about George Washington University where they're going to drop their mascot name, the Colonials, because it's not politically correct enough. Well, George Washington University, you can go pound sand. Well, there's some other phrases I'd like to use, but again, this is a PG show. But if maybe you think the NCAA 1 ranks are getting a little too woke, remember there's NCAA 2, NCAA 3, NAIA, and also junior college teams to follow. And trust me on this, because I have covered a lot of NAIA games and junior college games. There is plenty of great talent in all of those ranks, and a lot of small towns, they have these smaller colleges there with teams and athletes going out there working hard, trying to succeed. So that is another great avenue to go to. Get out there and support those teams, either in person or you can stream a lot of those games, but it's another great alternative if you need that sports fix. Like I said, a lot of alternatives out there. So why give your money to leagues that disrespect the country, that alienate their fan base? Go watch teams and leagues with athletes that are playing hard because they love the game and they realize that if they don't get that fan support, well then, they wouldn't exist. And that is your public service announcement from Rust Rants. Well, now here's a word from our sponsor. Does your toilet have rings that always need cleaning? Do you have hard water spots on your shower doors? Calcium buildup on your faucets? Just imagine what all of that is doing to the inside of your washing machine, dishwasher, refrigerator, your hot water heater. What about the pipes inside your body? Buy a filter or be a filter. You can have clean, mineral-rich water without the buildup of unwanted toxins in your body and throughout your whole home. Call Vicki Johnston today at H2O Health and Water Solutions at 928-899-7504 or stop in and see her at the Prescott Gateway Mall. Well, folks, that's going to do it for another episode of Rust Rants. Be sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe to all of KYCA's social media: YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Facebook. Check us out at kyca.info and be sure to leave a like and leave a comment for this video. We'd love to hear from you. Till next time, have a good one.